And for individuals that are over the age of 18, but under retirement age, under what circumstances would an individual qualify and receive Social Security benefits?
Okay, so the basic definition is, then the way Social Security goes about determining eligibility for disability benefits is the first thing they ask is if an individual is working. And if an individual is working and earning a certain amount of money, that right now this year, that is $1,310 or more per month, and that's gross, not net. So before taxes, if you're earning that amount, you are disqualified from benefits regardless of your medical condition. Again, let me be clear, that pertains to disability insurance benefits. You have to show that the individual claiming benefits has to show that they have a medical impairment that has lasted or can be expected to last 12 months or more or result in an early death and causes more than a minimal impact on the ability to engage in work activities. So in other words, you get a hangnail, you get a sprained thumb, you get a bump on your foot, that's probably not going to meet the durational and severity requirements, all right? Social Security then has developed what they call their listings of impairments. And a colleague of mine used to describe the listings as, think of it as a cookbook. It's got certain criteria, it's got certain elements, and if you have one of those listed conditions and you have all of the ingredients, you meet the other criteria, Social Security will find that you are disabled and entitled to benefits. Okay, a brief example, if you have, say, a bulging disc in your back, and we can show on x-rays that that disc is impinging on a nerve root, and because of that, you've had experienced muscle atrophy in one of your legs, and there's reflex loss and loss of strength, then you're going to be entitled to benefits. You will have met the criteria contained in the listings. If you don't meet the criteria contained in the listings, that doesn't mean you lose. It means we keep moving. And at this point, the Social Security Administration tries to determine an individual's residual functional capacity. And what that means is, what can the person still do in spite of the limitations caused by their impairments? Once the residual functional capacity is determined, then Social Security will match that up against the requirements of the work that the individual has been doing. And if the individual can show that because of their residual functional capacity, they can't perform the work that they had been doing before, then we move to the next step. If that residual functional capacity would allow for the performance of past work, then the inquiry stops and the individual is found to be not disabled. But let's move on. So we get the residual functional capacity. A person's restricted to lifting 10 pounds occasionally and can't be on their feet for more than a couple hours out of an 8-hour day. And the work they'd been doing before had been like construction work, heavy work. So obviously with the 10-pound lifting limitation and restriction to being on your feet, they can't do construction. Does that mean they're entitled to disability benefit? Not yet. We now have to show that that person is not capable of performing any other work that exists in significant numbers in the national economy. Sedentary work, they're not going to be disabled, all right? One of the few things Social Security has done right in their disability determination process is they realize that as we grow older, our ability to adapt to different types of work situations decreases. We can't teach an old dog new tricks. So the rules change once an individual reaches age 50, and they change again once an individual reaches age 55. As we grow older, it becomes easier to meet the standard for a finding of disability.